Success. Success is one of the central issues in our society and also one of our greatest challenges. But perhaps it can also be quite simple. Look forward to a panel discussion with interesting guests. Anastaze is an expert and mentor for B2b sales. Most B2b salespeople are under constant pressure to meet their targets, to manage the complexity of their clients, and to close deals. Anastaze helps them win the sales game by exceeding sales targets while staying authentic, respectful, and empathetic. His mantra is, add more meaning to your sales profession by being invaluable to your clients. Raúl Ladrero is an expert in real estate in Germany. After several years investing in Germany, he has a strong network to access to off-market profitable investments. He has solved the problem of not having time to explore the market and not finding profitable investments, and guides future investors to get their real estate investments done in less than 3 months.
Dear audience, thank you very much for joining us again for another edition of Wege zum Erfolg, in English, Pathways to Success. And with me are two incredible guys that are going to share their wisdom with us tonight. You're in for a big treat because it's going to be a super interesting topic. Dear Raúl, many expats are facing a lot of challenges when it comes to their job and their salary. So they live in Germany, they live in a country, in a foreign country, and they feel like they're a little bit stuck. They have a lid on their income. And when they're thinking about their pension, a lot of times the pension is not really supporting a great lifestyle in Germany. So many expats are looking for other options to increase income and wealth. So the main question is, how can they do it in a safe, secure way? And how can they immediately find really good deals? So Raúl, you're an expert for real estate in Germany. And I'm really curious to see and to hear what you're doing exactly. But first for you, the question, what does success mean to you?
In terms of my customers, success is when I see them happy because they got the real investment done. I help them during the path to invest, and they managed to sign in the notar the property they needed to go through the financial expectations that they had. Good for the future, good for the families, and when they sign in the notar and they've been supported, that's a great satisfaction for me. For myself, success is having the time and the money to do what I like. For example, I love the outdoors, in the mountain or cycling, and knowing that I have a portfolio of investments behind me, that if something changes, for example, who would have told us about the pandemic in 2020? So anything can change, but feeling secure that I can do the things that I like with an investment behind me, that makes me feel great, and for me success, to enjoy my activities with the money enough to do them.
Nice, yes. A lot of freedom of choice.
Totally.
Thank you, Raúl. Guy, in B2B sales, many people that are working in this profession, they are also facing challenges. So first of all, they're under constant pressure of having to deliver, having to reach their sales targets. Their management board, their CEO is constantly putting them under pressure. And then on top of that, they are dealing with a lot of complexity in B2B sales. So the deals are complex, the clients are complex, and there's hardly ever an easy sale and an easy deal. So the question for B2B salespeople is, how do I handle this balance? How do I reach my sales target or exceed my sales target and still maintain my sanity most of the time by keeping a life-work balance? You're an expert and a mentor for B2B sales, Guy. I'm really curious to hear how you solve these challenges for the market. But the question is, to you first, what does success mean to you personally?
Yeah, so from a personal perspective, success for me is the freedom of choice, as you said before. When you can decide with who you want to work, when you want to work, from where you want to work. From a business perspective, I feel that success means to be recognized by your peers as a master in your domain. That means when you can transmit, when you can lead, when you can inspire. For example, a B2b sales manager, if he can be a role model, if he can transmit values know-how, a savoir-faire.
So what happens for them when they're recognized by their peers?
They feel successful. They feel successful. When they can transmit, they can inspire, they can lead their team. That makes each of their team members to be successful.
Thank you, Guy. Thank you very much for sharing those insights. Raúl, many expats in Germany, they're having a difficult situation sometimes because they're living in a foreign country, working for a German company. Sometimes they bring their family with them and they have cultural and language and a lot of things in their daily life that are different. So they feel a little bit stuck and dependent on their jobs as well because they think, what would happen if I would lose that job? What would happen financially? How can I support my lifestyle? And the question is for them, what can I do to increase my wealth and my income? Raúl, you're an expert for real estate in Germany. So what does an expert for real estate do exactly?
Typically, when somebody wants to invest in real estate, they face all those challenges. The language, how does it work? How do you do it? What's the process? How to access a profitable investment? Let me give you 2 examples. Someone working for an expat working for a big corporation, successful, managing a team, and doesn't have time to do all that, to investigate, to find the property, but knows that is good for his or her finances. Or another typical situation, an expat family that they have their kids, they know that for the future it will be great for security of the kids, for in case there is a problem, have an extra income, have an increase of the wealth that in the future can help them. But they have these burdens, the language, technical terms, the process. So as an expert is to guide them through the process. Grab them from the hand and go step by step, clarify. When it comes a moment of, it happened to me, a moment of fear because you're going to sign a mortgage. So it's a big commitment with yourself and the future. So someone there to support you, to understand your motivations, to help you on when it comes the moment of the decision, be there because your motivations are there for you. And also to have a good portfolio of off-market properties ready to be prepared for investment and make them profitable for you.
Yes. So that's one of the biggest assets. As an expert, you can help your clients to have access to those special deals.
Having a great network that the customers, I can help the customers with that network so that they can get the investment that they are looking for is a great asset.
Yes, absolutely. And I think off-market deals that are not, in the paper already and people are bargaining for them, that's one of the big tricks that you can help them with.
Absolutely.
As an expert for real estate.
Absolutely.
All right, thank you for sharing that, Raúl. Guy, many people in B2B sales, they're faced with difficulties and a lot of pressure from the top, pressure from their clients to fulfill the deals. And they have to be constantly trying to juggle everything because a lot of times they work weekends, they work nights and long hours, and they don't seem to be getting the recognition by their peers for working and putting in so much effort and energy. So the question is, how can they reach their sales targets, exceed their sales targets, find and close great deals, and still, keep their balance in their life, their work-life balance, their families happy, their bosses happy, their clients happy, juggle all this. So as an expert and a mentor for B2B sales, how do you do, or what exactly do you do to solve these challenges?
Well, first of all, what is B2B sales? B2B sales are characterized by complex, expensive products and services, which require negotiation, and in general, maintenance and services on the long term. So B2B sales are relational sales on the long term. It's not transactional sales on one shot. What for the B2B sales people and B2B sales manager the key challenge? The key challenge is to win the sales game. What does it mean to win the sales game? To win the sales game permit to overachieve the target, permit to create trust and long-term relationship with the client. It also permits to manage your energy, to manage your time, your priorities, and last but not least, to have fun.
Yes, I was just about to ask.
Yeah,
yes.
this is why sales is a game.
Yes.
So the question is now how to win the sales game. Mm-hmm. As we said, you have to create trust and long-term relationship. And that requires three things. The first is executive presence.
What does that mean?
Executive presence is a mix of positive mindset and physical posture.
Okay. So your presence when you're entering the room.
Absolutely. And that creates confidence. That start to create trust.
Yes.
The second ingredient is adaptability.
Absolutely, yes.
Adaptability to new challenges, adaptability to the other. Mm-hmm. Remember that we are in a VUCA world, volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous word.
VUCA.
It's the VUCA. Yes. It also requires flexibility in adapting to the needs of the client.
Okay, so in other words, you can't be rigid.
Absolutely.
When you're in sales.
Exactly. Yes. And flexibility in negotiation.
Yeah.
So the third ingredient is what we are doing now, communication.
Ah, okay.
A simple, understandable, and clear communication. So when you master the three ingredients, executive presence, adaptability, and clear communication, you are engaging with your client, energy, trust, engagement,
yes,
and the willingness to buy. You are winning the sales game.
Ah, I love that expression. Winning the sales game. Wouldn't it be nice if sales was more fun? Thank you, Guy. Raúl, why do you do what you do? You implied that there's a lot of challenges, real estate, helping others to do the same. As an expert in Germany, you're an expert yourself. Why do you do that? What's your vision, your goal? What's your mission? What's your story?
I will tell you my story, Nathalie. It was the year 2016, and I was living in the UK. And I went through a very stressful period, and I moved to Germany.
Why was it stressful?
I was traveling a lot. I had a lot of work, constantly moving. I was managing a big team, and suddenly I felt bad, and suddenly my head exploded.
Literally?
Not physically, fortunate, but mentally and physically exploded, and my whole body did switch off.
Ah, okay.
So I had moved to Germany for a new life, and suddenly I saw myself completely, I couldn't move. I was devastated. I'm a big guy, 1.90 m with a beard. I was crying in the streets. Physically, my body didn't work properly. And I was quite lucky because I had the help of friends and professionals. Then I started to think, okay, life can change from one day to the next one. What you consider that is secure, maybe suddenly, boom, disappears. So I said, okay, what can I do with my money for the future? Because I don't know, if I have a sickness, if I lose my job, if who knows what can happen. And I had one of these aha moments.
An epiphany.
An epiphany. I was in Munich, and I saw a building in construction, and there was plenty of people in the streets, and I thought, okay, people have to live somewhere. Why not investing in a property, put it for rental, and let the wealth and the money work for me? Easy to say, but now it came the next challenge: how to do that? At that time, I couldn't speak German. At that time, I didn't know how it works, the investment process in Germany. At that time, I didn't have a network. So how to do this? And I was lucky again, because I found good friends and professionals to do it. So I feel very honored with all that help that I got during my depression and during my first investments. I did the first one, then it came another one and another one. But I want to give in return what I got. This support from the people that I got, I want to give it back. And it makes me feel really well and really happy and fulfilled when I help someone to get the investment done, when I see the journey, the first challenges of how does this work?
Yes.
How does an investment work in Germany? How to do it? Who to talk to? And I support them. They go through their fears, they understand why is it good for them, and then sign it in the notar, be happy, you have your money working for you, good for your future, and it makes me feel really proud.
And how do they feel when they overcome all these challenges? Have they shared that with you?
They feel really happy and really proud also, because they know they are doing something great for them.
And their kids.
And their kids, and the future.
Absolutely.
And it's understandable, the challenges, but they go through them.
They got through it. Okay. Thank you for sharing their story. Now, Guy, B2B sales is not an easy task, especially mentoring people in B2B sales. Because of the pressure, it can be also challenging for the mentor. So why do you do that? Why do you do what you do? What's your story behind this whole thing? What's your mission? What's your bigger picture?
When I was a child, I was pretty gifted in math. And this is why I easily became a theoretical physicist in elementary particle physics. I spent 10 years doing research.
Okay.
That gave me the rigor to deep dive into concept and to make connections between the concept, relationship between the concept. Another passion is people. I love to interact with people. This is why I jumped to sales, to establish relationship with people and relationship between their needs and the solution I can bring to them.
And a little bit of math with the numbers.
And I can tell you that the relationship with humans are much better than the relationship with elementary particle physics, numbers and so on.
Okay, well, a lot more complex though, right?
Yeah, much more complex. And this is why I spent 25 years in IBM. And I wrote a book, Authentic Selling, How to Boost Your Sales Performance by Being Yourself.
Would you say a lot of salespeople are not themselves when they're selling or trying to sell?
In sales, you can have technical aspect of the sale, knowledge, competencies, but the key point is what I call the savoir-être, the values.
Savoir-être, can you translate that in English?
Savoir-être is your human being.
Beingness.
Beingness, exactly. And the beingness, in order to establish a strong relationship with your client, trust, long term. And this is a deep things that you have in yourself.
So you moved from physics to
sales. And then I moved from sales to coaching. Why? Because we had a strong culture of mentoring. And in fact, I wanted to make connection between you and your inner resource, between people and their own resource. I realized how much powerful we are. When I had a brain stroke in 2015, I lost the mobility of my right hand. I fully recovered thanks to positive psychology techniques, but also a strong belief in myself and the willingness to overcome that. I can tell you, we have wonderful resource in ourselves.
Okay.
And by putting all that, physics, sales, coaching, and always connection, I went to my mantra, which is what guides my life and with which I help my client to get meaning in what you do, get meaning in their sales profession, to have fun, to have pleasure in selling, and to feel helpful to their client. When you have those three things, get meaning, have pleasure, and be useful, you are in a good path for winning the sales game.
Ah, nice. Okay, so now you're putting everything that you know from physics, from connections, from math, and relationships, and you are helping, supporting with your B2B sales mentoring.
Yeah.
Okay.
Everything is linked to connection. Yes. Connection between the concept, connection between the needs and the solution, connection between ourselves and our resource.
So when you help those clients to be better in sales, to be more exceeding their targets and having fun while doing that, by looking at it like a game, what happens for them in their lives?
Well, we come to the success of the freedom of choice. Mm-hmm. They can ensure, first, they can earn money by achieving the target. They can also relate with the other in a much easier way.
Yes.
Because to be a good salesperson, you have to love people. Mm-hmm. So that pushes people to interconnect with the other, to have a richer life, I would say.
Right. More meaning.
More meaning.
Okay. Yeah. Very good. Thank you for sharing your story. Very interesting. Raúl, who comes to an expert for real estate in Germany? What typical clients search the help from an expert for real estate?
One person is this profile of someone pretty successful, has a good job, has a good salary, works for a big company in Germany, and knows that keeping the money in the bank is losing value, inflation and so on, and knows that has to do something. There is a part of understanding that the money has to be moved, and also a part of pride. Mm-hmm. That also wants to see that has a portfolio behind him or her, and also is doing something good for the life, bringing some good stuff for him or herself, making the money move, increasing the wealth. However, doesn't have time because he's very busy with
yes.
with work life, and doesn't have the time to look for a property, understand the language, find a network, make the investment profitable,
find out how it works,
and so on.
No.
So basically, doesn't have time. Mm-hmm. And another type of profile is a family that already have been a few years in Germany, mm-hmm. and they also want to do something for the future and are looking for a bit of security, saying, okay, we have a few savings, something to leave behind for our kids, we can put this money invested somewhere, even have a property that will bring us additional income, because it's also good that just in case something happens.
Mm-hmm. The kids needs braces.
For example.
Yes.
Or I don't know, or we get in a pandemic. Who would have told us? So at the end, these people, one maybe doesn't have time, another one is looking for the security, but they know that it's good for them. And having the help of someone to explain how the process works, what are the technical terms, who to talk to, and someone that is quite fast in going off market and finding properties and make an investment that matches what you're looking for. Right. Different locations, different profiles have different needs. Mm-hmm. But at the end, it's key to have someone with off-market access that can bring the investment quickly for the people and satisfy what they are looking for.
Yes, very good. Okay, thank you, Raúl.
Thank you, Nathalie.
And what about you, Guy? What type of people come to a B2B sales expert and mentor?
Okay, two examples. The first one is B2b Salesperson, mm-hmm. and the second one is B2b Sales Manager. Yes. Those are different profile. The ultimate objective of the B2B salesperson is what you said before. It's to achieve their target, mm-hmm. to make their number every month, every quarter, every year.
Possibly exceeded.
Yeah. To do that, they have to become very effective, very efficient. Mm-hmm. They have to increase their sales conversion rate. they have to close more deals. To do that, they have to create trust, as we said before, and long-term relationship based on executive presence, adaptability, and clear communication. Now, how to increase your executive presence? Well, in fact, how to create confidence, how to have a positive mindset and keep that on the long term.
Even when it's challenging with some clients, yes.
How to develop your assertiveness, how to develop empathy, on adaptability, how to be open-minded, creative, to adapt quickly, on communication, how to make sure they understand their client, how to make sure they are understood by their client.
Even more important.
And how to make sure they are appreciated. Now, if we move to the B2b Sales Manager, the ultimate objective of a B2b Sales Manager is to have a successful team.
Right.
So the challenge is how to manage their team. And the best way is to improve their coaching skills. For example, a B2b Sales Manager should not tell his people what to do. He should ask what, how, and why to do.
Enable them.
Yeah.
Yes, rather than
telling them. Yes. Exactly. And that create or stimulate autonomy, engagement, and responsibility.
And it's less work for the sales manager.
Yeah. So in a nutshell, the B2b salespeople are looking help in order to know how to coach their client, while the B2b sales manager is looking help to see how to coach the team.
Even the B2b salesperson needs to coach the client.
Yeah. For me, selling is coaching your client.
Interesting. Yeah. Why? Why do you say that?
First of all, when you start a relationship, you know that you don't know. This is the first argument of a coach.
Yes.
And the second is buying is an act of change. You have to change many things when you buy. And in particular in the B2B, when you buy a car, it's for your pleasure. Okay, that's fine. When you have to change your IT system, there is the risk to fail. And the first reaction of a CIO is to say, no, I don't need. He will not buy by pleasure.
No.
He will buy by necessity.
Changing an IT system is not much fun.
So, as a salesperson, you have to accompany your client in overcoming the resistance of buying. This is an act of coaching.
Very good. Very good analogy. Thank you, Guy. Raúl, one more question comes to mind. We keep talking about expertise to invest in real estate for expats. Does this expertise to invest in real estate work for normal people, or is it only for expats, foreigners living in Germany?
At the end, real estate investment is for anyone that wants to take care of their finances. So the process to follow, how to do it, and so on, this is common for anyone. I mention expats because I am myself an expat, but of course, this is for anyone.
Okay, the process works for anyone. What tips do you have for our audience that they can implement right there at home without the help of an expert for real estate?
Let me suggest a very easy exercise. It's just grab a pen and a paper and write 4 questions. First question, what lifestyle do you want to have when you retire? Do you want to be at home with your grandchildren? Do you want to travel around? Second question, how much money a month do you need for that? Is it 5,000 net a month? Is it 10,000 net a month? The third question, what will it be your state pension when you retire? 1,000 net a month? 2,000 net a month? Fourth question, how can you bridge the gap from today between your state pension and the money that you need for the moment that you retire to have the lifestyle that you want? And now make a commitment with yourself. Start the plan, find the solutions, and start with your financial planning for your future.
Thank you, Raúl. Guy, now to you. What tips do you have for our audience sitting at home that they can implement right there without the help of an expert for B2B sales?
So here is a tip for business people. How to avoid the confusion between the decision maker and the decision taker. I will share with you how I lost a deal of $20 million by making a confusion between the decision maker and the decision taker. I had created a wonderful relationship with my client, and we had architected a very nice solution. He loved that. And we were ready to sign the contract with his general manager and my own hierarchy. On the day of the signature, he said, Guy, I just need to inform my functional boss abroad the country, just for a couple of details. We never signed it. We never signed it because I rely on the decision maker, my partner, and I fully ignored the real ultimate decision taker. So my tip is work with your decision maker, convince together your decision taker.
Thank you very much, Guy. Dear audience, thank you for staying till the end and watching this amazing round of tips on real estate and on B2B sales from our two experts. And hope to see you again soon in another round of Wege zum Erfolg. If you have any ideas of topics that you would like to hear on the show, then please let us know. Send us an email or just give us a call, and we'd be happy to invite the experts that can answer your questions or your topics.